Hi everyone, Soul17 here. Let me get through as like usual. I done this pictures. I made the thumbnail, not paid video, right? Okay. So, here's the thing. I made the video, and I was nearly done, but then my phone shut off. Out of power. And everything was, everything did not work, basically. I couldn't even I couldn't even use the video because it was, like, corrupted. I thought I had enough power on my phone, but I didn't. So I had to wait till it's charged to even get this out. And I'm kind of busy all day, sort of, doing schoolwork. And then I kind of just took a break. I wanted to basically work on the video. Then I went back to try to figure out my schoolwork. So, yeah. Anyways, let's just get this thing started. I'm gonna add a new character into it, but it's really a past character from the comics. Because has Sonic powers and personality a bit, he has his problems. We're gonna see what and how. So let's get this thing started. So also I'm telling you add it in something else, but I have to make sure I can say the name right, so I actually cannot get it started yet. Okay, I got it. So let's just get into it now. So yeah, this is part 5. I think 5 or 4, depending. Alright, so last time we left off is Naruto basically talked to Sakura basically about going on a little trip, and right now they're almost near the Chunin exam. So let me just say this. So Sakura has been increasing her training. She's been also kind of learning a lot more what she can do. You see, because of her action or how she was, and what she learned back in the Wave Country, and Sasuke's refusal or didn't want to save her, her feelings towards him diminished a lot. But the way how she sees Naruto, aka Scourge, it reminds her basically of the dream she has, basically of Sonic the Hedgehog. She doesn't know why, but at the time she doesn't understand it. Doesn't mean she has any feelings towards him, but at the same time, she's not too sure basically how she feels. So she thinks it's only friendship. Technically speaking, if she is Amy Rose, which we all know my fucking thought process, then then basically she'll be a lot more useful. No, seriously, Amy is actually a good character. She's, in the comic, she literally actually organizes the rebels to help out people and such. Her wicked strength basically is, can literally fight multiple robots at a time. She made herself her own type of character and her maturity. Still keeps that fangirl tendency, or should I say the love for Sonic, but still will basically do a lot of things that she can do that, she can't do as Sonic, unlike Sonic. Basically. So, yeah, in a sense, if I am making her Amy Rose, I'm going to make her be way more confident, way more, basically, helping out people, just, in a sense, just being what Amy Rose is like from the Archie comics. Since she has the best personality in that. So, yeah. So, in my sense of Amy, when I basically heard that her basically attitude in the comics, because I've not read them, but when I got a sense of watching a video about Amy Rose's progression, basically she's, like I said, she's a lot more confident. She's basically able to help out people. She's basically able to organize and help out the rebels in her own way. So, I'm probably not doing, basically, the character Amy Rose any service. Basically, I'm just saying what I'm going to try and make, Sakura. Because everyone knows my process of thinking by now with this video. So, in a sense, right now, though, she's still the same Sakura. But later on, she's not going to be, probably before Shippuden. So, yeah. Yeah, anyway, like I was saying, she's kind of learning already medical chakra. She's she kind of thinks if she can't really fight, right now without having a good style of fighting, then she can learn to try to heal people, or basically try to be in the background while most people are fighting, but doing her job at protecting or healing who are injured in some way or form. She's trying to figure out who she is now. Well, Kakashi, he's been impressed with Sakura's growth and change. Her growth in strength have been a lot. And she's been giving him a decent, not, I want to say challenge, but I mean a decent growth of basically determination to get stronger in her own way. He's basically even shown her basically Kurenai, who knows Genjutsu, which she has learned a little bit of Genjutsu from her, which is kind of surprising to her since she basically asked Sakura while she was training her team, because she was basically wanted to get them set up on their training, and she went to Sakura and asked, what's she reading? Because, she says medical ninjutsu. She goes, well, you want to become a medical ninja? She goes, well, yes and no, I guess. It's better off to have something like this, just in case one of the team members get hurt. Am I right? Which, basically, Kurenai smiles at that. So, she also basically, wants to see Sakura's taijutsu, which is still abysmal, but she's incorporating her own, basically, moveset to basically the academy. But it's a lot better than it was in canon. But the punches where she ever froze, let's just say this, when Kurenai dodged a hit from Sakura, she was right behind a tree, she punched, and her arm went right through, and the tree basically side blew off. Because that's what I mean, her arm went right through, and basically already because the side of the tree blew off. Which Kiba thought, oh my god, if I get hit by that, I'm so fucked. Moment. Okay, screwed, whatever. But yeah. So, Kurenai was actually kind of surprised. So, Sasuke, training for the past couple of days? He hasn't unlocked the Sharingan, so it doesn't really matter. He did fight Naruto, and, well, he didn't unlock the Sharingan until he fought Naruto. That's how much I'm going to say. Because he thought he actually was going to die until he saw everything in slow motion, and, yeah. Sasuke dodged the attack, and Naruto's fist cracked the ground a bit, which Sasuke thought if he didn't dodge that time, he was going to be effed. So, yeah. Naruto just saw, and the great Uchiha got his Sharingan. Which Sasuke grinned at that. But he still lost the fight. Which Naruto's just running on his back, just tapping his foot. Like, man, even with the Sharingan, you still suck, Uchiha. He just jumps off, you're like, what a waste of time. Moment. Which Sasuke's gonna even matter. So, yeah, the training, which was gonna be done today in the video, basically, for them, is gonna be his Sharingan training. Which Kakashi was way too much of oh my god moment, why this Uchiha moment. Even though he's basically the last Uchiha. For him, it's like, Sasuke's too prideful. So yeah. So the mission they already did. It was just a simple mission of delivering, which they're just giving a report. And it was turned out to, when they found out who they're delivering to, it was actually a client that was high, I want to say, basically in the social status, which actually was someone who didn't hate Naruto. Which actually kind of surprised him even more about that. So, I mean, he actually basically just told Naruto, if you ever want to come by to my stores, all of them know it's basically to give you any help. Which Naruto was like, wait, what's your store? She goes, oh, I do basically have a partnership with such and such place, which was shocking to Naruto. So he says he'll go by. But yeah. Anyways, so after a report, Kakashi says, and that's it. So Hiruzen goes like, well, I'm glad the job was done. So, I bet you want to go on to training or take another mission, Kakashi. Which, basically, he just nods. And before basically Kakashi says anything, he goes like, Kakashi Sensei, I need to talk to I need to talk to Hiruzen. Not Hiruzen, basically, just, Hiruzen just chuckles, like, I understand, Scourge. You can go, Kakashi, which he just nods. So, after that, when they leave, the privacy barrier comes up. He goes, now then, Naruto, it's still Naruto for you, GG. Remember? He's like, yeah, sorry, it's just, you go by Scourge, so many people are calling you it. He's like, well, kind of good. So, you want to talk to me after what I said? He goes, yes, it's been so busy lately. The Chunin exams and then your new powers that the council found out. And your... my announcement to them of who I am. He goes, yes. Yeah... Hisashi's been good. I'm actually kind of surprised he doesn't hate me. But, Which, basically, Hiruzen just chuckles. He's like, oh, you should see him at the meeting. He was ready to kill me. He goes, wait, what? Hisashi Hyuga was actually about to strike down the Hokage? Which she basically said in shock, which Hiruzen just chuckles at it. He goes like, to be fair, he was your godfather, as he was, yeah, I get it. So, well, what's the business you want to talk about mostly? He was like, the barrier. You knew about the outside. He goes, yep. I knew. I know. I'd been out there, and I helped out a few people. Called Adventure Bay. The food there is really great. They got chili dogs. And pizza. But mostly chili dogs. He basically was like, so, you could have stayed there, but you chose to come back. He goes like, Konoha's my home. What can I say? Which, Naruto sits down and goes like, so, you want me to basically not tell anyone this secret, basically 4 times S ranking, right? Which he does not. He goes, only the Hokages of each village knows about this secret outside the world. No one has gone out there. Not even I'm allowed to know even the outside world. None of the Hokages are. Which Naruto's like, oh, well, there's no chakra. Which, basically, Hiruzen was shocked by. He's like, Naruto, no chakra? He's like, nope. Our whole entire nation is really just an island. To them. He's like, what? He goes, yeah, I know you're not to tell me, but hey, I wanted to at least say this much. They don't use chakra, they use technology. Basically, I have some back on Angel Island, but, I'm not going to tell you much about it since you don't want to know. But let's just say, if I ever become Hokage, which probably never will, I can always probably, get some technology and get a better system. But that'll lead to the fourth Great Ninja War. We don't need that. Which, Hiruzen just nods. He's like, I see. So, yeah. Even though the barriers look really large, there's I think another separate island which is called Snow Country. So, there's that. Maybe I should go there one day. Can always go snowboarding. Which Hiruzen just laughs at that. Actually, just full on laughing, which Naruto's like, Gigi? Are you okay? He goes like, I'm fine, Naruto. Only you would say something like that. Who cares about the laws or anything? You'll just go do what you want. He goes, adventure. Which Hiruzen just stops laughing. He goes like, well, I'm sorry about that. It's just, you changed so much, and yet you're still the same. Which Naruto just grins. He goes like, can't change me. Which he does not. He's like, what does he want to speak about? He goes like, well, there's a place I need to visit that's near Lightning Country. And I want to bring someone with me. Not a Jonin or Chunin. Another Genin, or someone from my team. I have a theory on something that I need to test, and I need to get some stuff there. It was left by someone that, well, somebody that's I need to thank for. I want to learn more about than use his memories. Which Horizon basically would not. He goes, I see. The power you hold. I understand. So, who is he want to bring? Sakura Haruno, aka Pinky. Which, he basically just kind of leans back when he said that, which Horizon gives him a double take. He's like, Sakura Haruno, my boy, you hate her. Which he was like, yep. Then why did you... Theory... Oh. Yeah, by the way, how Shikamaru and Choji are doing with Ino? Which he was like, oh, their fathers literally think they're under some type of genjutsu. Which, basically Naruto literally was looking at the ceiling, but then he looks at him, and literally like, serious. He goes like, what happened? He goes, oh, they think they're under some genjutsu. Choji is training a lot more physically than eating. Shikamaru was inventing than sleeping and studying more. Literally, they had Inoichi go into their minds, and yet nothing was wrong. I don't understand what's going on. We're like, wait. Is Shikamaru thinking about inventing, like, what? He goes, before they left, after they took a D-rank mission, Choji was like, hey, he basically like, Shikamaru, can you please invent me some type of knuckles, basically, that basically when I punch, it can basically have a, shatter, like, rock, nearly, where Shikamaru was like, huh, maybe, we have to test it out and see what's more durable that can increase your punches. Maybe put chakra into it? He goes, yeah, that could work. Hey, maybe even those basically attachments basically to it where I can basically use my fists and dig. That would actually be kind of cool. Which Naruto's thinking, and he goes, wait, could Shikamaru be Tails and Choji put Knuckles? No way, that's impossible. Basically, which Horizon can see it on Naruto's face. He was like, my boy, what's wrong? He was like, I just can't believe it. Believe what? Well, I think I remember I told you about Sonic the Hedgehog, which basically Horizon thinks I was like, I do not believe you did. But a lot of things have happened recently. So, please remind me. He goes, fine. So, basically he tells him about Sonic and, his team and who he was and such, and his story that he, has memories of. Which he goes, I see, so a freedom fighter. I think you did tell me. This is jogging some memory a bit. He goes, yeah, well, if basically Tails is Shikamaru's reincarnation, well, if Shikamaru was Tails' previous, not Tails' previous, but, yeah, Shikamaru was Tails in his previous life, and Choji was Knuckles in his previous life then, that would make sense on what type they're coming up with. But the thing is, they don't have Shikamaru won't have the technology to build stuff, but Sonic usually was always impressed with Tails inventing, so at this moment in time, I think we should have some sort of flying craft that he may invent with just like wood, a rock, metal, and bamboo. Which just I want to say Horizon just looks at him blinking. He was like, bamboo. He was like, yes, we're lucky he doesn't have basically gum and a paper clip and anything else. I was like, I couldn't really build something from that. He was like, I think so. It's hard to remember with all those memories to go through. Which I was like, fair point. Alright, I'll give you the mission. Well, so far, make it look like a mission. Just wait a few minutes. He was like, on it. So then, basically, Naruto actually starts thinking. He goes, maybe I should stop by and see Choji. Basically, though, Horizon says, oh, by the way, when you're leaving? He was like, it took a couple of hours. He goes, alright, here. He's like, thanks. I need to visit Hanbi, then Choji and Shikamaru. Because if so, then I gotta bring back some equipment. Then for him, Sheikah really isn't Tails then. He's gonna invent a lot of good things. But I'll need to have a base. I'll have a base. Because I don't want none of the villagers to know about this. In which, right when Hiruzen just nods, basically takes down the barrier, and all of a sudden Danzo comes into the room. Who's like, Hiruzen. He sees Naruto. He goes, hello there, Namakis. He goes, Uzumaki. Alright, hello there, Uzumaki. He goes, so, Usei. He goes, this is Hiruzen, one of the council members. And I've never seen him so... I was basically... He actually can see, like, he's actually shaking. Basically. And basically, Hiruzen doesn't understand why. So... yeah. There's gonna be a reason for this. But anyways, basically Naruto was like, well, whatever. See you, Jichi. So basically Naruto leaves. And then when he reads out the door, he just disappears in a green blur. Which, when Danzo closes the door, Hiruzen can see him sweat, and he was like, what's wrong with you, Danzo? Sarutobi, please tell me he is not going to destroy the village. He goes, Danzo, he was like, when Danzo opened his eyes, all Hiruzen can see is fear. Which basically Hiruzen goes up real quick and actually walks over to Danzo and holds both his, which he actually can tell something's up with Danzo's, right arm, which ain't natural. Which he goes, what's wrong? He was like, what happened to you? You would have jumped the chance. He goes, I think I should start from the beginning. So let's just say this. One day, Danzo was doing his normal work. All of a sudden, a blue creature appeared in his root base, which Hiruzen knew, but he's actually shocked that Danzo was just completely telling him. So he asked, what was it? And it didn't say nothing. All it did, basically, was just grabbed his face and brought him over. And then all of a sudden, a green light came from one of his hands. And when he touched Danzo's forehead, he saw the future which Naruto would have became. Which, when Hiruzen heard it, he was furious at Danzo. But what shocked him the most, that Naruto nearly ended everyone in Konoha. He basically became a force of nature. And it was literally basically even heard before he died that he devoured the Nine Tails. As then he said 9 tails sprout out from his back. And crimson dark chakra came from him. He became the 9 tails itself, and that's where it all ended. The visions. I tried to see if someone saw it was Genjutsu. It wasn't. I saw a future where I created a monster, where we did. It was before the exams, I should say, but no, it was before Naruto left. I usually would not be afraid, but I felt how I died, Hiruzen. It wasn't quick. It was through absolute pain. And I can still feel it today. Which, basically, just Hiruzen's shocked that Danzo was literally just petrified. A man who had no fear of death, basically, will look death in the eye, even send forces into it, is afraid of Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki. Or Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Which, basically, he goes, is this why you told everyone to let it happen? And agreed with basically the Ninja Council. He just nods really fast. He goes, and he literally takes off his arm, but he shows him his right arm, and he basically, Hiruzen just looks and he goes like, I've been working with Orochimaru. Which, When Hiruzen just shot, he was like, "Why are you telling?" He was like, "It's better off to be near that monster." Which, yeah, he literally said it so quickly. He goes, "I'd rather be in jail or die now than be near him, or even try to even make him a part of my route." I'm actually glad that creature took him away from the village. That's no weapon if I would have made. That's no loyal weapon. That's just someone who would basically destroy the world. So, yeah. Hiruzen just seeing Danzo literally having a miniature panic attack, which he basically calms Danzo down. And, yeah, that happens. But they do talk about, him helping out Orochimaru after his, panic. So, yeah, basically, Naruto go visit Hanabi. Basically, she acts like the way she is, all proper, basically, and because the other council members are watching, but, Hasashi is also there, basically just like, Naruto. He was like, Godfather? He goes, the council's mad because you keep saying that. He was like, do you really think I care? He goes, no. Exactly. He goes, so how is it? Oh, he learned how to do this. And then he basically just placed a marker on Hanabi, and Hanabi walks away as Naruto then basically uses the flying Raijin and appears right behind Hanabi, pat her on the shoulder, as it just disappears. Which Hasashi just grins. Which basically Hinata's watching in shock and amazement, while the council members of the Hyuga clan are just baffled by this. Some of them will be like, how does that demon have it? Moment. And Silk was like, so, they still don't believe on who I am? He goes, nope. I told them, and they still don't believe. Which Naruto just chuckles at that. He goes, by the way, who's Danzo? Shimura or something, I guess? I forgot his name. I just only remember his Danzo. Which Hasashi is like, did he? He goes, no, he was really nervous and shaken. Which Hasashi's actually shocked. So, in a sense, right when they're talking, all of a sudden, like, 3 root ninjas appear right in front of basically where they are, which Hasashi's about to actually get into a fighting stance, but they're in like a, waiting for orders, like kneeling down in the position. He goes like, Lord Uzumaki, which Naruto's like, we're here to give you this, from Lord Danzo himself. Which Naruto's actually kind of confused, but he takes the scroll, and he goes, thanks. So basically, his body flickered away. Which Naruto looks at Hasashi. Hasashi is baffled and shocked, which Naruto puts in some chaos energy, it opens up, and what's in there is, how should I say this? It's something that Hasashi is shocked. Basically, I want to say, it's basically a kind of a copy of a technique that Hasashi and Minato were trying to create. Something to basically surpass the Flying Raijin, which Danzo has been working on in secret. Basically, Hasashi and Minato basically scrapped the idea, but not Danzo. Which Hasashi thinks to himself, how did Danzo have this? Which Naruto's reading it, he's like, oh sweet, that was trying to improve on the Flying Raijin? So, he wanted to move faster than what he could, to be more like it's instantaneous, but with an after effect. Wow. I think I got way more power than he, so... But it's going to take a lot more seals than this. Maybe a little bit more Uzumaki seals could help. Which, Hanabi was like, oh, really? You think you'll even move faster with that? He was like, not as fast as I can already move by myself, but fast enough to almost be, well, probably sound. Which Hisashi thinks, well, says, wait, is that even possible? Goes like, well, technically speaking, you guys were trying to create something that basically it's instantaneous. You see, that could have been light. But the problem is, like, the flying Raijin does take time. But you were really trying to create was, like I said, instantaneous. But the thing is, it would require so much chakra, it basically required a Biju. Or a tail beast. One tails would actually be sufficient. And the other tail beast would just give you an added bonus of doing it multiple times. But chaos energy is way more potent. And besides, as basically says, it was basically done, basically my dad wrote, and even including you, wanted to make it where it's an after image. One, basically, as soon as you hit the after image, it explodes on contact. Am I right? Basically, he's like, yes, we never stood. I didn't understand why Minato wanted it. He goes, because that sound. He goes, huh? Look, see? Air pressure. That's sound. You basically move as basically at the speed to the point where you leave an after image that bursts on sound. We can call it the Horatian clone. What do you think? She's like, well, that's amazing. I didn't think, you could actually think of that. It was, I mean, I can move faster than the speed of light if I wanted to. Probably even sound. Seriously. He thinks to himself, so I'm gonna travel through time. That's be faster than light. If I can move that, that would be a headache. So he was like, what's this seal already? He goes like, it just says Danzo wrote this personally to me. He goes, he thinks he figured out a way, but these kanjis are wrong. Well, the seals are wrong, basically. He's like, huh? How can you tell? He goes like, enough studying with shadow clones, you basically can already tell. I mean, heck, I secretly always carried my bag with me of seals and always read them with the clones, so I always woke up with their knowledge. So I'm kind of already near mastery, I guess, or above it. I've just been using clones also due to the calligraphy writing of it. Comes in all handy. So, basically, yeah. Naruto's, like, looking at it, and then he basically goes, alright. So, basically, he basically has a Horatian kunai, but then he basically thinks of the seal that he wants. Basically, literally tells Hisashi to basically go over, inside, because he's gonna go outside a little bit far away, which he basically not. So Naruto basically goes outside real quick. The Anbu and Hiruzen and Danzo, even basically the route that where Danzo watch as Naruto literally explain, having a kunai twirling his finger, as then he basically thinks of the marker that he wants, basically on the bottom of his foot, that it suddenly appears. But the thing is, it's basically only to make a clone. So when he throws the kunai, basically he puts chaos energy into both at exactly the same moment, and he's gone in a flash. Which basically it looks like he's gone in a flash, but he's still there, which no one understands how. Which Naruto basically appears at the tree, grabs the kunai and throws it, and when it hits the clone, all of a sudden there's a big giant shockwave, and basically there was like a boom, in which Naruto was like, just grinning at it, and when the air wave just hit him, he goes, yep, that's breaking the sound barrier, alright. Which, that's just shocking to everyone. That's like he did on the first try. I've been working on that for years. Wait, maybe it was could have been a different set of seals? Which, Hiruzen is actually just kind of surprised that Naruto was able to do this. So he appears right at the kunai, and he basically takes it out, which, basically, Hanabi and all the other, basically, Hyugas come out, they see Naruto just twirling the, three-pronged kunai, and, like, holding it in a verse grip. He's like, eat your heart out, Dad. I improved the Horatian. Just imagine an army of these could do. Which Hisashi's just actually starts laughing. which everyone's even shocked, including the council members of the Hugo. He was like, Minato, your son's a real monster. He improved the Horation even when you couldn't. Which that kind of shocks all the elder council members of the, Hugo, which Hanby's actually just eyes wide and starts in her eyes, but she actually, goes up, saying like, "Big brother, you did it," moment. Which, he's like, well, she says, "Scourge, you did it," basically. Which Naruto just chuckles and pats her on the head. He was like, "I know I did, Hanabi." There's nothing I can't do without basically proper training. And besides, he basically flings a kunai up in the air as it spins and he just catches it. He goes, "I am who I am. Scourge. The best of what I do. Denied the impossible, right?" She just nods. He goes like, "Well, I gotta get going. So see ya." He basically just runs off, leaving Green straight, and then even goes over the wall and he's just gone. He basically sees a lot of the people in Konoha panicking. He's like thinking to himself, "Heck yeah. This could be really good to basically bring up, drive away a crowd. There should be a few hearing, loss of hearing, like, ooh, the Inuzukas. Hopefully they're not hurt." He runs by, he sees the Inuzukas, they're like, "Hey, can you hear me?" "No! What are you saying?" Moment before them, he's like, "Note to self. Try to work on how loud the air pressure can be. But seriously, first try? And there's always some kinks. I'm just actually surprised it actually worked." So, basically, when he's running, he's thinking to himself, so, leaving the marker, basically, of a clone to be there, but combine it, make it made out of pure, basically, wind, which actually is just chaos energy, it's by imagine of chakra, then basically having it condensed down into an actual form, as when the core is basically going faster than anything, does leave it then to basically cause a massive airwave pressure, which is a sound barrier breaking when after it hits, releasing it. Yeah, that should work. Proper seals basically is for wind, but making it more saying like condensed wind air pressure. I just invented those seals on the fly. I'm always better at that for some reason. So while he's running, he just shrugs. So yeah, he does visit Shikamaru, but he's not there. He does visit Choji, he's not there. Heck, he went to Ino's basic place, which her father was like, they're on a mission today. He's like, "Oh, cool. Just tell, Shikamaru or Choji if they're stopped by, whoever." I said hi. He runs off and he's going to grab Sakura. Which Inoichi just sighs, you're like, "Oh, what happened to those two boys?" So yeah, anyways, the training grounds, I'm just going to make this quick, because I have a lot I want to do in this video, so let's just say this. He basically tells Kakashi that, Sakura and him have a mission to do, which he asks why. He goes, just some delivery mission that's not basically too far. Just to basically meet up with somebody there. Which he just kind of like looking at him suspiciously, but then he goes like, the Okage himself and asks, "Besides, we need to be there by today, so we gotta leave." Which he just sighs, he's like, "You are the fastest here, so it makes sense." He goes, "Yep. Anyways, see ya." He basically grabs Sakura and just runs off. I want to say this, too. While that was all going on, the council civilians were having a secret meeting behind Hiruzen's back. Basically on how to basically get Naruto to basically get in his place, as they would say. Stay in it. Underneath their heel, blah blah blah. While Haruno, Sakura's mother, is kind of questioning on everything about Naruto, what she believed in. So, in a sense, it's she doesn't know no more what she believes. He was a monster, or the fact that he was willing to protect her daughter, but, is just, she can't, fathom. She thought Uchiha Sasuke would, but when she says, Sakura told her Naruto's protector on a mission, she doesn't even know if Sasuke even tried, so she wants to ask that. So we do go to the scene where she basically sees Naruto dropping off Sakura. He goes like, "Sorry, it's just, a lot of things happened, and I want to get out of the village before, well, anybody, kind of suspect what I did. which she decides, like, what did you do? He goes, I may have improved on the Horatian with a clone. She goes, a clone? He goes, more like a physical construct of chaos energy that basically, if you really think about it, it's just wind chakra condensing down. Basically, I manipulated the chaos energy into basically wind pressure, and as soon as you hit it, it's like an aftermath that's gonna fade, but when you hit it with a kunai and it fades, it just explodes actually, which unleashes a lot of wind pressure, making a sonic boom. Basically, an explosion of wind. Which she's actually kind of shocked and amazed at that. She was like, how did you? He was like, I did on the fly. I do technically have a good plenty of time to basically read my basically parents' scrolls on basically, seals. Since we're on that mission for a couple of weeks. Which she does not. You say, wait, how? He goes, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Duh. She was like, alright. He was like, keep up, Pinky. She was like, shut it, Scourge. He was like, make me. She tries to hit him. He was like, whoa, too slow. She's like, you're unbearable sometimes. You mean unbearable? No, unbearable, because you're annoying so much. He just shrugs, goes, fair enough, at least don't have a mallet. She goes, why? He was like, if you did, I'm running. I don't trust you with that inhuman strength. She goes, maybe I should get a mallet. Big and heavy. He goes, I'm just gonna go pack C in 10 minutes, maybe, if I don't find Konohamaru. It's like, alright, so that's what he does. Basically, while he's running, because like, she does get a mallet like Amy or Rosie. I am so dead. So yeah. So Sakura asks her mom to pack her lunch, which she knows is for two, so she packs 2 lunches, and, well, when Sakura grabs them, she goes, sweetie, you have a mission, right? She goes, yeah. What's wrong? She's like, I wanted to ask before you go, you seem to not talk about Uchiha Sasuke a lot anymore. Which, that kind of brings Sakura's face a little bit upsetting, but she understands why her mom's asking, because she used to. When she just says, a lot's changed when we came back from the wave mission. I know you probably want me to basically like Sasuke, but I can't no more. Where she goes, just tell me, why? I'm just worried. I mean, I want you to find love and all. I'm your mother. So, please. Can you just tell me? Which Sakura nods. She just says, when I said Naruto saved me from basically Zabuza, the demon in the mist, I did told you about how he knew him. She does not. He was like, I still can't believe he knew him. But that was shocking, but at the same time comforting that you didn't get hurt, so why is a long face? He goes, Sasuke Uchiha was willing to let me die. Which her eyes widen, and then she wants to say nothing, but Sakura was like, I'm not lying. No genjutsu, nothing. No disbelief, basically, or movement that Naruto could even have, basically. To even try putting me against genjutsu because he can't even do it. So, it's just Sasuke didn't want to save me. But Naruto was right there when I needed him. So, I was going to die, and that changes my perspective of Uchiha. Which Mrs. Haruno is very, very surprised. He was like, did he even move? He goes, she just nods no. She goes, I yelled out for him. He just looked at me, then looked away. Not even a second glance. It must be that pathetic to him. But Scourge, he was willing to basically go and save me, even if he called me useless before. So, I don't want to be useless no more. I didn't want to basically have him keep saving me, but he's precious to me. I know you don't like him and all, and basically before she could even go on anymore, Sakura's mom puts her hands on her shoulder and then brings her into a hug. Which, basically kind of surprised. She goes like, I understand. Just promise me you'll be more careful. And if Naruto protects you, or you want to be friends with him from now on, I'm okay with it. Sasuke Uchiha, I'm so sorry I wanted you to basically be with him. Which Sakura basically looked at her mom. She basically sees her mom crying, which she hugs her mom a little tighter. She goes, "It's fine, Mom. Every girl wanted to be with him. It's fine." So basically, after a few minutes of hug, Sakura's mom basically goes like, wipes away her tears, like, "All right, you go enjoy your mission, and be careful." She just nods. So yeah, meanwhile with Naruto, let's just say this. Ino and her was done with her mission, she was going by, so the whole time where Ino was, basically taking the place of Sakura, chasing down Konohamaru, basically then all of a sudden, Gaara's brother, Kankuro, was holding basically about to hit Konohamaru, but all of a sudden, there's a blade right at Kankuro's neck. Legit. In the coldest voice that Naruto has ever said in front of Ino or Konohamaru, he just basically tells him, Moegi and one of the other friends? Forgot the name. But basically, probably the one with the dripping nose. Basically, I forgot his name. So he's just, says, because he's holding him behind the guy, Kankuro's neck, behind him, basically. He was like, "Let him go, or the next move you take will be the last thing you've ever done." And I don't make that as a little dinky little promise, as he basically gets the blade near her, near Kankuro's neck. He was like, "I mean it. You hurt him, you die where you stand. No second thought, no nothing." Which Kankuro immediately drops Konohamaru, and all of a sudden the blade disappears. And basically, Naruto's right in front of Konohamaru and goes like, "Hey, you okay?" He goes, "Yeah, thanks, Naruto." He goes, "It's no problem. But man, you were really scary when you did that." For a minute, when Konohamaru looks up, Naruto looked like there's like something appearing in his eye. He doesn't know what, but it looked like it was about to be a swirl. Which, he goes, "Hey, you alright?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm just like seeing things." He goes, which Naruto was like, "Still, that hurts bad." He goes, "No, I'm not." Which Kankuro was like, "Hey, who are you?" Which Naruto gets up and turns to him and goes like, "Name's Scourge, Uzumaki. Have a problem?" He was like, "Yeah, some runt like you basically threatened me? I'll teach you basically how to threaten sand." He goes, "You're here for the Chunin exams, huh?" He goes, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "Listen here. And before you start a national incident, so basically between our basically two villages, because of you're about to hit the third grandson here." And he basically puts to Konohamaru. He was like, "You should be warned. He's my friend, so you hurt him, I would have destroyed your whole entire village." Which, that actually kind of shocks everyone. Well, I think everyone, but a little bit more because of Konohamaru. He was like, "You would really do that to me?" He was, would do that for me? He was like, "Of course, Konohamaru. You're my friend. And I don't like people who beat up children. If that's what the Sand Village Sand Village does, it doesn't deserve to be on the map." Which basically Naruto actually starts to emit chaos energy coming off of him. Which, yeah, Kankuro steps back, and even Tamari steps back, which Kurama is actually chuckling. He goes, "Kid, I love it when you're angry like this." Which Naruto was making a mental grin. He was like, "Oh, I just love to terrorize people sometimes." And then he goes, "Oh, by the way, hey, Sandy, get down here." Before even Sasuke even showed himself, he's actually kind of, shocked, basically, because all of a sudden he just hears a grunt. He looks back, he sees Gaara, and all of a sudden Sunshin, over basically to where Kankuro and Tamari are. Basically, Kankuro's like, "Gaara, he doesn't say that, but he was like, 'Who are you?' He goes, 'Scourge Uzumaki.' have a problem with that? He goes, you're different from the rest. You're strong. He goes, strong is an understatement. And I want to say this. Naruto basically still keeping the chaos energy around him. But he can sense two different life energies in him. He goes like, huh. So, how's the Tanuki doing? Which, Gaara's eyes, even Tamari and Kenkuro's eyes widen. He goes, how do you... He goes, don't worry about it, pretty much. By the way, he should be kind of scared since he should recognize the power I'm emitting. He should be able to get some sleep. He looked dead tired. So, good luck to you on that one. Which Gaara basically doesn't hear, like, Shikaku no more for a bit. He was like, how long? 3 days. To 2. Which he goes, good. And he just basically, actually closes his eyes and basically falls asleep instantly, which Kenkuro catches him. He was like, how? He goes, listen, he'll be fine for the next 24 hours or so. He'll wake up the next day feeling bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. So, see ya. Which he basically tells Konoha, let's go. Which, like, how? Dude, Naruto! So, yeah. Basically, Sakura saw the whole entire thing. Basically, when Sasuke comes down, he's like, dope. How the heck do you even do that? Which goes, Tim, I'm busy. I gotta go on a mission. Sakura and me have to go. Which, he was looking at Sasuke, then he turns forward. He sees Sakura, which she's just tapping her foot. He was like, sorry about that. She just said, like, I heard Ino screeching. So, we're ready? He was like, yep. Basically, he goes, by the way, you better hold on tight. She goes, huh? He just literally runs towards her, picks her up by his staff, and she's holding on to his neck immediately. He was like, quick on the reflex, huh? She was like, shut it. He looks back at, not Sakura, Ino, Sasuke, and the Konoha Corps, basically. He was like, well, see you guys later. And they basically just run out, towards the gate, basically even showing the paper real quick, and they take a look. And, they say, alright, you're alright to go. Basically stamped it, and Naruto and Sakura just dash off. More like Naruto just came her dashing. Which are like, did we just see that right? Didn't the rumor say she hated her? I guess, he's faster than her, so it's the fastest way to travel then. Which is, like, true. So, yeah. So, Naruto basically is running towards the direction. She goes, hey, do you know where we're going? Basically, I want to say this. Before the Sonic basically, technically, not die, but basically did something like, get married, he basically saw Tails. He goes, hey, Tails, you said you got an invention to show me. He goes, yeah, I invented this. The Chaos Emitter. He goes, huh? He goes, this way, basically, if you ever get lost, and you basically are nearby the base, and you basically sense the chaos energy in it, you basically come back here. He goes, seriously? He's like, yeah, I'm going to put a cloak and field around it, so no one else can find the base. Besides you, or basically Shadow, me, and anyone who I give this basically a band to, which he basically has an actual band with a watch on it that will show it. He goes, seriously? Man, Tails, I'm always surprised what you can invent. Basically, Tails just chuckling. He was like, yeah, the only problem is this actually takes a lot of energy. So I had to kind of come up with a multiple way of basically using it. He goes, seriously? He goes, yeah. Since I always deal with chaos energy, I thought I could always make an artificial way. Well, a small amount of it. I even asked Knuckles about it. He said that could be dangerous, but I just told him what it was for. He goes, that little amount could actually be, good then. He goes, wow, how long do you think they will last for? He was like, probably for as long as it basically gets power. I do basically have, hold up. I do have Nicola here. She basically is going to help out. Sal is willing enough to basically depart ways with her. Which Nicola appears like, hi Sonic. He goes, sup Nicola? Everything's good for you? He goes, uh-huh. Tails gave me a perfect arrangement here. And I'm basically keeping basically the workshop / base here good, keep it running good as new. He goes, thanks, you've been a big help. He goes, it's no problem really. It's after all, Eggman's basically not around, he left. Which he just nods. So yeah. So that's where basically the memory stops, and he goes like, yeah, we'll be able to find it. So basically he just runs in the direction basically the memories are showing from Sonic. He's using them as a mental map, even Kurama's helping him. So she's like, so, how long do you think we've been running for? He goes, probably, he's just looking up. He goes, not even an hour. At least almost 30 minutes. She goes, seriously? He goes, yeah, it's not that far. I mean, it is near, basically, lightning country, but still. She goes, you know, there's other, basically, areas that we're gonna have to go through parts of other countries. She was like, still near Fire Country, at the borders of basically Lightning Country with the Cloud Village, with, you know, the Red Kage and all that. It's just near there. She goes, alright. So a little bit more traveling, just a little bit of chatting. Basically, him basically doing some jumps and leaps. Basically, was Sakura was actually amazed of his acrobatic skills. Heck, he actually even landed on a tree that actually was going down. He basically, you know, did what Sonic would do in with Sonic Adventures 2, where basically he was in the forest area and grind on the vines. That's what he did, which he jumped off. She goes, how did you? He goes, honestly, I'm just able to do it. It's one of the skills I had to learn. She goes, seriously? Uh-huh. Wow, that must be kind of easy for you sometimes. He goes, yeah, I can run on walls too. It's no big deal. She thinks to herself, no big deal? I mean, we could do that too, but I mean, at the speed he goes, it's it'd be kind of hard to keep up the chakra control. So she actually thinking about it, and then she just stops saying, it's Scourge. It's impossible to figure him out. So yeah, so I want to say a couple more minutes of running, and then they found the base. Basically, though, it's like a huge giant rock that actually, it just looks like a huge giant rock that basically is a part of the mountain. She goes, are you sure this is where it is? He goes, yeah, I'm sure. She goes, how would you... And then he just holds up his hand, and basically a ball of chaos energy is shown, you know, in it. As all of a sudden something comes to it, and it hits his hand, and then basically leaves his hand a few minutes later, basically after, and the ball is still there. As then all of a sudden a field is basically, you know, well, not a field, but the workshop is basically being shown. Her eyes is shot, basically. The workshop, basically, it's old. It's basically made out of metal, basically. It was a bright red color at first, but now it just looks like an orange color due to rust, but not by much. And it basically looks, there's not really much like grass around it. It looks like it's been well kept and such. But she just kind of notices, wait, why does it look like just a pathway? And why is there as all of a sudden Naruto goes over to the door, basically opens up basically the code, opens up a latch that shows a code, or a touchpad, as it basically puts in the code, and then all of a sudden the door's opening. And what she sees is, she goes, wait, what is that? He goes, this is the X-Tornado, a plane. So, let's just say the classic plane. You know, I would not say red. It's the blue one from the Adventure series. Which, she's like, a plane? He goes, I'll tell you more about it, but this ain't the only one. There's maybe like 3 to 4 more models here. She goes, 3 to 4? He goes, yeah, there's the red one, the X-Tornado, the Tornado. Then there's the X-Tornado. Then there's an actual tornado that actually can handle Chaos Emeralds, basically, and upgrade it. But, that's basically a little more too high-tech here. She's like, high-tech? He goes, technology way more advanced than the ninja world. It's alright. So, basically they go over to a door, and it just slides open. She goes, huh? He goes, we're going down further. There's a lot more stuff down there. Rooms, basically. She goes, are you sure it's safe? He was like, should be. And hopefully we'll meet an old friend of Sonic's. She goes, Sonic? Sonic the Hedgehog. the person I got my powers from. Or should I say, the person who basically was the one previous before me, before I became Scourge. So he puts in basically a code, another code that will allow them to go down. So when they're going down, she's actually shocked by that. She wants to ask questions, but she can see Naruto's serious. So, in a sense, when the door is open, she sees a huge giant basically base. Like, there's basically a area where it looks like there's multiple different. She doesn't know, but Naruto knows the screens basically showing or would show different areas or pictures, basically of routes and such information. Basically, the next area that she basically sees is a area for basically putting weapons away or a stash of food and stuff, just storage areas, a training area, and rooms, even next to the training area. But what she then sees when she looks up is all these different planes, and she even sees a big giant. She doesn't know what it's called, but Naruto just says, "Man, Tails actually invented that ship. Still can't believe it." Well, maybe not invented it. I had an idea for it though. She goes, "Wait, that's a ship? It's more than just a ship that we know of, Sakura. It's hard to tell ya." She goes, yeah." So while they're walking, Nicola is basically watching. She's like, "Is that Scourge? No, he's supposed to be dead. But if he's here, I have that through the security systems." So yeah, while they're walking, Naruto's looking for the room. But then all of a sudden, an alarm's going off. He goes, "Crap!" He goes, I should have said who I was first." She goes, "Wait, what?" He was like, "I made a mistake." She goes, "What do you mean you made a mistake?" He goes, "Listen, whatever happens, run. I can handle it. Just run. Get into a room, randomly, whatever." She goes, "Scourge, what's wrong?" He was like, "An AI program named Nicola thinks I'm basically an enemy." She goes, "Why?" He goes, "Because I look like Scourge. An evil version of Sonic." She was, her eyes wide, and she was like, "Evil?" He goes, "Just listen to me and run. Now!" As she starts running to a room randomly, as then all of a sudden, a robot appears right in front of him, which he lands. He goes, alright, big guy. Let's see if this bucket of bolts of Tails can still work properly." Which basically then he hears screaming as another robot appears, as he's like, "Hey!" I mean, he doesn't say Amy. He says, "Sakura!" As all of a sudden he gets hit, sent flying into a wall, crashes into it. He basically just sees, Amy. Ah, my God, not Amy. Just the pink hair. Basically, he sees Sakura dodging it. Heck, even trying to basically throw kunais that is just bouncing off. As he goes, "Okay, let her up." As he then gets hit again, basically into the ground or the metal floor, as he thinks, "Okay, that's smart." Which Kurama's like, "Naruto, get up!" He goes, "I know, Kurama." He's getting up slowly as then basically the robot picks him up and pins him against the wall as he's trying to push off, even using chaos energy to move it. Basically, he notices this chaos energy is being drained. He thinks Nicola must have made it, but Nicola, hold up. Okay, so he says, Nicola may have upgraded into the sort of chaos energy. Crap! So he sees Sakura still being in danger. He's getting mad. He's basically getting furious, basically. And then basically negative emotions are basically flowing into his, throughout his brain and such. And then all of a sudden, yellow chaos energy is starting to appear on him. Sort of. I mean, okay, leave in the comments if it should be like his super form be what Scourge would have done after absorbing some crystals from his world where he was purple, or he should still be like super. I think it should be purple, but I'm just saying for now it's super sonic form, basically gold, and his eyes were gonna be red anyways. So yeah. So then basically a golden aura started to appear around Naruto, as then all of a sudden his hair is starting to turn gold back to being blonde, and he goes like, "Okay, "You bucket of bolts!" As then he's slowly crushing a piece of the hand. He's like, "You are gonna be destroyed!" As he just throws it off of him. Basically, as that when he basically turns into Supersonic or Super Scourge, basically. But the thing is, that's the difference. As Nicola sees, his eyes are swirls now, basically. She sees, wait, no, Scourge never had that. But Sonic? As in, when the robot's getting up, he just actually starts laughing. He goes like, "Oh, I never felt this much power." He just flies towards and just punches right through the robot, then immediately spin dashes towards the one that was about to hit, basically, Sakura, when basically she tries to, dodge, but she trips. That's why she was about to be hit. She just sees a bright, blur, basically right in front of her, with this weird power coming off. When she looks up, she knows the jacket, so she goes, "Scourge!" He goes, "You done it." And then also he just throws the arm to the side, and immediately with a Chaos Enhanced punch, basically breaks through the robot so quickly. Meanwhile, though, when this happened, basically, Kurama sees another entity in his head. He goes, "Who are you?" Well, not in his head, in Naruto's head. As basically, as I said, which he just stares, laughing. He goes like, "Oh, the kid actually finally used me." Which Kurama's like, "What the?" He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you big giant furball. But the kid actually can use that form of mine." Or actually, his. Which Kurama was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "I only go by one name. Nine-Tailed Fox. The name is Fleetway Supersonic. I'm the way more chaotic version of Sonic who doesn't care for life. But hey, the kid's doing pretty well to handle that much power and actually keep himself conscious. He must have a strong will to where even I can't control him." Which that just shocks Kurama. He goes, "I better pay him a visit. I'll still be around. We'll talk more later." And then he just, fades away. Basically, but Kurama could sense the power. He goes, that power's unwieldy and uncontrolled. And yet, his presence didn't even bother Naruto? A strange creature indeed. So, after the robot basically blows up and Naruto protected Sakura and him, basically he powers down, he's huffing and puffing. He's on one knee, he goes like, "That power, it felt incredible, but dangerous as well." Nicola was about to show her stuff, and then they hear clapping. What basically Sakura and Naruto see this weird hedgehog, this weird creature standing on two legs with sharp claws, basically coming out of the gloves, just clapping with basically the swirl in his eyes. Which Sakura, sees Naruto back in torture, putting his hand right in front of her. But when she basically sees Naruto's face, she sees the swirl in Naruto's eyes disappearing. She's thinking, just like him, he goes like, before she even saying, he goes like, "Well done, kid, well done." "I'm surprised you can even use that form without the Chaos Emeralds." He goes, Who are you?" He goes, "Oh, you should know me. You have his memories. You have his power. You have his chaos energy." Which, a few minutes of processing, he goes, "Fleetway Supersonic." He goes, "Of course I am, kid. To be quite frank, I was gonna take over and destroy this world. I saw no more use of it to be around. But to think, your will and determination kept me at bay. I'm impressed. I really am, and I don't get impressed a lot." But she just gulping, and he was like, "How you?" He goes, "Oh, that presence you basically pulled off, that massive amount of chaos energy for the first time. Well, there's still some lingering in the air for me to form. Enough for her to see me. Only a person with chaos energy and know how to use it properly could ever see me. Like you. Which, Naruto is literally backing away to actually, basically his arms really on Sakura's stomach, basically trying to pull her behind him. Because he remembers what Sonic's friends told him, told Sonic what happens. He knows this guy's wild and crazy, even his fights with Sonic. He remembers them. He basically, Fleetway is thinking, kid's actually smart. Sonic would have rushed in, without even thinking about the others, but he isn't. He goes, so, are you scared of me? He goes, if I was by myself, no. Which Fleetway actually grins. He goes you're not hiding it. Good. Which Naruto doesn't understand. He goes listen, I'm impressed. So, if you want to learn how to go super form, you have to ask, basically, Chaos and the Master Emerald for help. But, be warned, wherever you're in danger, basically negative emotions and stress happens, I'll come out. And I'll play for a bit if you don't keep that will of yours in check. Which all of a sudden, basically, he knows what Fleetway would do if he doesn't. Basically, the fear in his eyes stop. A blazing fire determination kicks in. But he basically also sees rage. He goes, if I don't, what would you do? He goes, oh, you should know. Death, blood, destruction, and mayhem. Which Naruto just grips his teeth. He was you'll kill anyone who gets in your way of fun? He goes, of course! But killing people is my way of having fun. Which not Sonic's, but Naruto's chaos energy is starting to turn, dark. As basically his hair starting to turn dark, but the thing was most surprising to Kurama, he could feel his chakra basically going to Naruto. Which he's thinking, that shouldn't be possible. But, wait, maybe it's a chain reaction. So, if I'm right. So he basically puts on a little bit more, as now Naruto's eyes go into red with a slit. Nails start to grow, even fangs. Which Fleetway goes huh? This is the Kyuubi's chakra. Interesting. It seems because he went super, his body naturally adapted to it, now even allowing the Kyuubi's chakra to flow through him. He got past that barrier, he can use it now. Instead of just a little flicker of it. So basically Sakura can tell this weird chakra is coming off of Naruto, but at the same time it's mixing with the chaos energy to the point where Naruto's hair is actually turning black, but there's a glow to it now, red. He goes, so, if I don't keep you at bay, you'll kill everyone that I care, no matter who it is. He goes, yep, so be wary of me, kid. Keep that will strong and keep up the good work, hero. And then he just turns away and just disappears. Basically, Nicola comes out, she goes, what the heck? How fully we even get out? Who the heck are you? As before she can finish anything off, Shadow appears through Chaos Control. As Naruto basically calms down, but his basically eyes are still red. His nails are still long, a little bit long, which Sakura was it's Naruto? He basically looks at her, she sees crimson eyes, basically with slit, as her basically, she doesn't back away, but she's just holding on to him. He was and his anger calms down. He was I'm sorry. He looks away and basically, I would say in sadness or basically regret now because she had to see that. Even though he accepts Kurama, he didn't want anyone to know, which basically shows hey, what's wrong? He goes, Fleetway. He appeared. I guess I transformed into it, but I was still conscious, which that's actually kind of shocking. So, in a sense, let's just speed this up. They talk, but meanwhile, Fleetway's coming into the basically where Kurama is. He goes, so, you want to know why I couldn't take over the kid besides his will being strong? He nods. He goes I made a deal with Chaos. And Master Emerald. I basically can still be around and teach the kid a few things, but I won't take over. I had to keep him in check. Because the more I grow, or should I say he grows, I'll grow with him. He goes, what do you mean keep him in check? He goes, you remember what basically Hagoromo told you, right? He just nodded. He was like, that's why. So I basically take over right away and basically prevent him from doing anything too drastic. It's a pain, but whatever. He goes, you're not basically what I think you are. Which he kind of grins, and then all of a sudden one of the swirls starts disappearing, and it turns into a green eye. He goes, you think? Which all of a sudden, Kurama basically was seeing, remember how Sonic looked in the mirror, he goes like, you're... Can't let the kid know, huh? Basically, he just kind of walks away while the sword goes back in his eye and disappears. So, yeah, in a sense, basically, Nicola basically finds out everything what happened. Even with basically just Shadow telling, Sakura who he is. And how many years he was living. They said just Naruto even revealing to her about him being a Jinchuriki. And being the Nine-Tailed Fox's Jinchuriki, which she was shocked, and he literally just tells her, and to be frank, I had no say in it. If I even wanted to become one. I literally was just sacrificed to protect the village, and they treat me like crap. Attacked me, beat me, nearly killed me. So he's trying to hold in his anger. Even Kurama can tell, but the chakra's sort of leaking off of him, which Shadow puts a hand on his shoulder, and he looks at Shadow, who's like, it's all in the past, kid. I know you're trying to move forward, I can even tell, but it hurts. He just nods. He was like, I had no friends. I was all alone. No one in the village knows how it's like to be that. And it just hurts a lot, But Shadow just nods. But surprised him was this. Sakura goes up to him and hugs him. She says, I'm so sorry to him, basically. Sorry she didn't try to be friends with him. Sorry she listened to her mother. She's sorry she abandoned him. Which, that kind of shocks, basically, Naruto and Kurama. But he does hug her and saying it's fine. We're becoming friends now, right? She just nods. So Nicola asks why you're even here, and he goes, oh. Basically wanted to see if Pinky over here is someone. Which that kind of shocks, Shadow. So they had, basically, when they were walking toward the room, Naruto just realized, wait a minute, you were run to this room. Basically, it's Amy Rose's room. She goes, I don't know why. I just felt natural. So, in a sense, Nicole opens up the room, and when they enter, Sakura's getting a few flashes. But when she basically sees her Pika hammer, basically the Pika hammer, she walks over to it, and she does pick it up, and that's when everything sort of clicks in her head. She's basically getting a whole flashes of memory real quick. She stumbles backwards. Naruto captures her. Hey, I got you. So when she basically, stops remembering, she goes, wait, Sonic. She's basically, looking around and such, but then sees Naruto. Just, Scourge. What? I remember. I was Amy Rose. Wow, that's a lot to remember. He goes, so I was right. He basically helps her to the bed. He goes like, so, you alright? She just nods. She goes like, yeah, thanks. Listen, I'm sorry if I hurt you too badly in the past. He goes, oh, besides the punch in the face or head? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. She goes, no, it's not. Really. I just can't believe my personality is somewhat the same, but totally different. But Shadow was like, huh. I never thought I saw Rosie again. She goes, it's Amy, Shads. Which he goes, ugh, even you sound like the faker. Which he just smiles like, good to see you again. She just nods. She goes, so, what we're gonna do? He goes, huh? She goes, you wanted to see if I was Amy Rose, and I am. He was like, oh, well, I didn't think that far ahead, actually. He just scratches the side of his face. Which, Shadow, Nicola, and basically Sakura just look at him. He goes, what? I honestly thought it was a theory. I didn't know for sure. But Amy just starts laughing. He goes, you definitely are Sonic through and through. He goes, he just blushes and looks away. He was like, shut it. So she goes, alright then. Tell me, what was your thinking process afterwards? You're like, well, make this a base, like, to get away from the village. When we were basically don't have to do nothing. We basically can, like, try to invent some things. If Shikamaru is basically Tails, then we can basically start our own little, well, team here. Get away from everyone, relax, chill. Talk about the old memories. I mean, even though I'm not Sonic, I still like to hear them. She just nods, like, I can understand that. Besides, you want to go on adventures of your own? He was like, heck yeah! Man, I mean, Choji's Knuckles then. He'll probably want to go to see the Master Emerald. Even though Chaos is protecting it. She goes, seriously? Chaos is still around? He was like, heck yeah. Not until a fox is scared of Chaos. Which basically Kurama was like, I am not scared. He was like, basically he just kind of ignores Kurama, which Kurama's like, I'm not scared of him. He's like, no, seriously, I'm not lying. The Ninetales is actually scared of Kurama because of, it's just because of some other thing that happened. I'll just say he has the memories of some other beast. Which he was like, seriously? He goes, yeah. So they kind of chat along with Nicola, basically saying, well, telling how basically everything is perfectly working fine and such, and yeah, everything can works 100%. He goes, sweet. Hey, are you tired of being around here? She goes, yeah, I don't have no one to talk to. He goes, so, is there a way I can actually have you basically follow me around, like, in a device? But it's like, you can see through everything from my eyes. She goes, probably if we incorporate it into your sunglasses, I'll be able to. He goes, seriously? Yeah, I just have to make myself a little virtual home in it. Kind of make it like a computer processor. He was like, alright. He basically gives her the sunglasses. So I know she's able to, actually touch things. So, yeah. So she basically goes to a workshop, and basically Shadow's like, you think this is a good idea? He goes, have to be. I know how it is to be alone. So, he just nods like, understandable on that one. So after a few minutes, she comes out and goes, done. He goes, huh. They feel a little more heavier, but is there technology in it? She goes, uh-huh. I made it waterproof too, just in case. So I just had to hook myself up to it, and basically, sees a little button as he pushes it, and then, yeah. He basically sees a little, you could say, not drive marker, basically. Something to plug into something. So he basically takes it out, there's a little bit of wire, he plugs it into the system as Nicola goes into the sunglasses. She was like, wow, it's going to be a lot easier to basically view everything. He puts them on, he's like, well, I have my own little bit of AI. Am I the only one that's able to hear you? She goes, uh-huh. He was like, cool. So basically he takes it out, puts it back into where the sunglasses are, and then he goes like, looks at Sakura, was like, so, should I call you Ames, Amy, or just Sakura? Or Pinky? She goes, Sakura and Pinky for now. It's my new life. But she just nods. He goes, so, still gonna be a obsessive fangirl? She goes, no. You're not Sonic. He goes, of course, I'm Scourge. You're not Scourge either. You're just Naruto. Which Naruto kind of his eyes widen and then just smiles. He goes, thanks. I needed that. Basically, just Shadow was like, okay, romance bit people. Before I barf, let's get out of here. He's like, we're not dating. Besides, she has a crush on someone else. So, you know, so they kind of just leave. The place is being shut down. The robots that were working on stuff is just, getting shut off. Shadow, well, Nico basically hooks herself back over to the system just so she can basically find the hologram. Basically, feel that that makes everything look like it's real. So yeah. So after that, Shadow says, "I'll be going. I gotta go back to where I was beforehand." He goes, "See ya." And then he basically uses chaos control to get out of there. So, basically, Sakura's like, "What about this?" He goes, "Oh, here." As he basically takes out a scroll, basically has an ink brush and basically, ink and ink, and he writes down basically a storage seal on her hand, on her arm. He goes, "Put some chakra into it, and it should be ready so you can put your Pika Pika hammer away." She goes, "Seriously?" He goes, "Yeah. By the way, with the Pika Pika hammer, you're able to basically summon multiple ones after you're using it." She goes, "Wait, what?" He goes, "Yep, so you have an infinite... So technically it's an infinite weapon that's always summoned back into the seal." "You're welcome." She was like, "This is gonna help." He was like, "Uh-huh." Basically, I think it gets heavier with the older you are, or something. So, if you swing it a couple times, your strength will increase, even if you run with it. She goes, "It was a little bit heavy." He goes, "Yep, so, let's go." She just nods. Basically, he was about to, jump, actually crouch down for her to go on her back. He was like, "No," she basically goes, "Nope." He goes, "Huh?" She puts her arms around him, she jumps up, he catches her. He goes like, "Well, since we're out, let's go hang out. Let's go basically visit our places." He just sighs, like, "Alright, I'm not shopping for clothes." She just basically gasps, like, he goes, "I'll go shopping with you once, basically, in Konoha. Not a date." She goes, "Fine." She just rolls her eyes, and yeah, they hang out, they ate, and they get back the same day. I'm gonna say this. Since I'm basically gonna run out and I want this uploaded, we will technically go to the point of the Chunin exams, but it's like, I just see, like, because of it, we do technically have the next day where Kakashi would give Naruto and Sakura the papers. Sasuke already did it. Signed his paper, so, and they were nominated while they were gone. So basically, they signed the papers, and they train for those couple of days left, and then, they go to Chunin exams. Sasuke is about to say something, but not Sakura, but Naruto stops him and be like, "Let the weak handle themselves." And they go. Basically, Sasuke still gets into a fight with Rock Lee while Sakura and him leave. And then Kakashi sees Sasuke limping a few minutes later. He goes, "Well, He goes like, "Some guy named Rock Lee happened," Naruto says, which, yeah, he just says, Kakashi goes like, "Ah, I see." So, yeah, and then, well, what happens next is just this. The written test, it goes exactly the same. Naruto really just knows a lot because he read, so he just writes down everything and answers exactly the same way, and the force of death will happen. That's the only thing I can see in this part that went exactly the same, besides Kakashi he needed to tell them about it and get the paper signed, since they hung out all day when they were, basically going to get the papers. So, yeah. You guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are, and bye. Hopefully I can get this uploaded before I feel tired, and work on part 4 of the Overlord. I have a couple ideas I'm thinking of, so bye.